What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pigweed Farms. Today you're gonna have me, and then you're gonna have my wife Mara. She's gonna join us today. We've noticed over the past few times we've been on TikTok that and YouTube and all that, everybody's getting into raising their own chicks and chickens for either egg production or for meat wise. And today we're going to show you how we feed our chickens for absolutely free. That is $0. We're gonna get started today. For one way we feed our chickens absolutely free. We let them free range. Free range 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So you may not be able to do that where you're from, but here on Pigweed Farms, that's how we do it here. Other than like we might buy some mealworms or we might buy a little bit of scratch feed, but that normally lasts us a 50-pound sack of scratch feed will last us about 6 months to a year. So we only give that to them certain times. It's because they waste so much of it. So you put out a little bit of scratch feed, they're going to waste at least 50% of it. At least that's how ours do. So that's how we feed them for free, if y'all are curious. And I also believe that God put them here for a reason. So let them out, let them scratch. They scratch all over the place. So we'll show y'all where they scratch at most of the time, how good it is for the soil to be scratched up. But you want to take over for just a second?
Yeah. Another way that we feed them for free is I take our leftovers when we have leftovers of certain things. So for example, this week we have a small amount of pretzels left over and then also some stale bread. I do some quick research to see what's good and not good for them. So for example, I actually did a little bit of research. Chickens don't need very much salt in their diet, so they recommend not giving them pretzels. So these I would not give them today. However, the bread, as long as it's not frequent, it's fine. So I will just take and, you want to feel me? And toss to the chickens the stale bread. This is something they usually get. Here you go. Oh, here you go. This is something they usually get like once every other week or so when we've worked through and got a couple of pieces. Mostly just the ends of the bread, but this time I did have 2 slices as well. And it's kind of a treat for them. Usually when I give them some of our scraps, it is fruit. We eat a lot of bananas, so they often get banana peels. They haven't been big fans of them lately. But banana peels are a common one. Strawberry tops. When I cut up the kids' strawberries, I would give them the strawberry tops. Blueberries. We have a lot of blueberries at the house. If I buy a bag of apples, I typically will give them a couple of the apples out of the bag just over the course of the time that we have those apples. So 1 or 2 one day and then 1 or 2 another time that week or the next week while we have them. I sometimes will give them other stuff too that we have. So if it's a less salty, so pretzels are extremely salty, so I wouldn't give them those. But a less salty chip, I would throw out a little bit of if we have some leftover stale in the bag. Or if we have a something like lettuce, we tried that and they didn't like it too much, but we did give that. Pumpkins at Halloween after they had been carved by family, we did come out here and give them the pumpkins. We had to smush them, didn't we?
Yeah, I had to run them over with the truck a couple times.
For some reason they wouldn't eat them until they got smushed. But we give them those kinds of things. And like I said, I usually do a basic search just to see, will this be something they can eat, something they can't eat. They don't need a lot of acid in their diet, so I don't usually give them stuff that is acidic, like
Oranges,
or citrus,
sapsulas.
so I don't give them citrus. Um, onions. Onions are very toxic to chickens. I found that out just by I had a whole bag of onions that I needed one for a recipe, and grocery pickup gave me a bag. So I had looked them up. We did not give the onions to them, but basically any food scraps that we have that are fresh produce or grain based, as long as it seems that it's going to be safe based off of a general search, I do share with the chickens. So,
But one thing I was telling them about is how we don't feed them unless
no.
we feed them, like
Mm-mm.
table scraps or leftovers
Yeah,
or
just the
whatever.
leftovers or table scraps, kind of like you would a dog.
So the biggest thing, like we try to do, is keep feed costs down to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we let them out. They free range, like I said, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They come out here. They eat the grass. We're in South Alabama, so we stay real moist most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So under like we have 6x6s laying around, 2x4s, anything that's going to draw moisture up under it. We have grubs and worms and insects and stuff, and we'll come out here and lay one over, and they will just go to town. But one thing I wanted to show y'all was how they scratch. So you can see right here, all right in here is where they've been at the last few days. They come down, and you see all this dirt loose. They take all this old grass and they just sit there and do that with it, trying to find a bug. That's the biggest thing with them. We try to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Let them do their, let them have
We
their
try to let them
purpose.
take. Yeah, they're good for pest control. So let them get out here and eat up the bugs and all. Also, when it comes down to it, whatever they can find naturally is going to be the healthiest option for them because they're going to eat what they're supposed to eat. What you get in a mix, while some companies do stay pretty true to what they need, some companies may not. You want to come over here and get a...
Yeah, I was going to show them where they go up under this hot, or this bottom strand on this fence isn't electrified, so they don't get shocked. But you can see where they travel through, all through here. They come out here, they scratch. There's a real good spot right there. And basically anywhere that there's no grass living, they're going to scratch. So if it's just straight dirt, that's a lot better for them. They don't have to work as hard. So right here, we have a big pecan tree that sits here and it's shaded here most of the year. So where all these old pecans is, they might crack one open and eat it and do what they can, or they just scratch down until they can find bugs. Another way to do this too, we don't give them grit. So grit helps their gizzard process their food, break it on down. We don't give them any because they're out here eating out of the dirt, scratching through the dirt. They're picking up a lot of that sand and dirt material, which is a natural grit for them. So we kind of just, I didn't realize that was on that hot wire. Hold on, guys. But which the only time we ever give them food, like pelletized feed or anything like that, is when we're raising them in our brooder. Or we have ducks in the barn right now. We took this old pen in the barn and turned it into our little duck pen. And we do give them feed because they're confined in here for until we get our new chicken coop done. And the way we do it, the way that we train them is we lock them in a coop for 3 weeks or so, 3 weeks to a month. Let them get used to being inside that coop. So we will have some feed costs there, feeding them throughout that period to be able to get them used to, hey, this is my home and this is where I'm going to come back to every night. Some people say you can do it for less time. Some people do it for more. We figured out 3 weeks to a month, give or take, is normally the best case scenario. These chickens, they come back to the coop every night. They don't have any problems. They walk right in, get up on a roost bar, and they're good for the night. Other than that, predators is a big one. Hope you don't send them in a cardiac arrest.
Huh?
I didn't think about all the salt in the bottom. But I mean, it'd be
They're
like
okay.
giving them mineral.
They're okay. It's not that much.
Salt.
I didn't pour the whole thing. I mean, it did spill some, but
predator
I didn't get all
is
the
a big
crumbs in
thing with free range in your chickens. Like I said, we live in South Alabama. Our main predators are going to be your coyotes, your hawks, your owls, your raccoons, your possums, and sometimes you have to worry about snakes every now and then. But those are our main 4 or 5 predators that we have to worry about here. We had a problem with a coyote a couple years ago. He took off about 1 chicken a night, and we finally he was running a little late one morning, and I caught him in action before he could do any more damage. But we did have a problem with a hawk a couple weeks ago, and this is the reason, like, we free range, we've never had roosters, but to show how good a rooster is, when the hawk come around, both roosters took all the chickens and hid them. Hey, Bella. Hush, baby. We're going to have to walk away from here.
Sorry. I was trying to get you some closer footage of the...
That's fine. I got some yesterday that I can use, too. Don't touch that fence.
I'm not touching the fence.
It's popping by 10 right now. You mess around, you get in that fence, it's going to hurt.
I wasn't even that close to it.
But if you are going free range, what we've learned is make sure you have at least 1 rooster, depending on how many hens you have, more than that.
Yeah.
Like I said the other morning, I had got up and was getting kids ready, and heard a bunch of commotion outside, and come outside, couldn't find a chicken in sight, couldn't find a rooster, nothing. And once I had looked for a minute, they were over here in this wood line, they were in the bush right here beside the house. The roosters took the chickens, or took the hens, and hid them away where nothing could see them. So if you are in like where we live at, we're mainly surrounded by woods. So if you do have like a predator attack, your rooster is going to protect your hens, unless he's just a lazy rooster. We actually have 3 roosters right now. We have 2 fully grown ones and 1 that's coming up that we hatched out last year. We naturally hatched them out.
That Myrtle hatched out, yeah?
Myrtle, we let one of our chickens do all the work. She started hatching them under our barn, and we let her take them all the way through. But yeah, we just feed our chickens for 0 monies. That's the way we like to do it around here at Pigweed Farms. You got anything else to say?
Nah, free is good.
We like free.
Free is good. Free the chickens.
Yeah, let's see how many eggs we got today.
Free money.
We like to have a little bit of money. We don't like to blow it all on feed. I see people all over the internet. Now, if you're going to leave them locked in a coop, you better feed them.
So when it comes down to it, if they're free ranging...
You want to grab those 3? They're not going to bite you.
They're yucky, though.
Well, that's just, we got to give them some, we got to mix some probiotics in with their water.
Which one is the real one? Is it the dirty one or the clean one?
Yeah, the dirty ones. The dirty ones are...
This is the
No, that's the fake one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The clean ones are going to be your real ones. And then Myrtle should have a couple under the shed.
Acting like I'm asking the stupid questions.
Myrtle and her 2 babies are the only ones that don't stay in the coop. They have a dog kennel under the back porch that they stay in. So, but when we get the cooplex over here, she and her babies are going to be locked in here with the new babies, and we're going to get them trained. Just 1?
Yeah.
It's enough for me in the morning. Ready to go inside?
Sure.
All right, you want to put them in? I'll close this off, and then you can start cooking dinner.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to go over and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I do my best work.
Yeah, she's over the Facebook and Instagram. I'm over the TikTok and the YouTube. But guys, like I said, we don't feed them a layer pellet. We don't feed them junk. Like I said, we do give them mealworms every now and then. We do give them a tad bit of scratch feed every blue moon. It's just, with us, it's about keeping our feed costs down. If you see here, a new bag of feeds, say a 50-pound sack of feeds, $20 a bag now. And with the amount of chickens that we're going to have, that we're currently have inside, and what we're going to try to hatch out this year, you would probably go through at least a bag to 2 bags a week. So you do the math on that, and plus if you're giving them scratch and pellet, plus if you're giving them, you know, grit for their gizzard and all that, it adds up really quick. And we're trying to do this as a business where we can have farm fresh eggs, where we can sell them to like our family and friends and stuff like that. And it's just, to me, them out here scratching around in the dirt, kicking dirt up, eating the grubs, eating the worms, eating the bugs, it's just so much better for them in the long run. So, guys, we hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Y'all like, subscribe, comment down below. If you have any questions, just let us know down below. We can do more videos on. We have a lot more chicken content this year. We bought an incubator. We're gonna try to hatch out our own. So hopefully, for too long, we can hatch our own chickens, and we're gonna do a video on that. So y'all stay tuned for that. And guys, as always, Jesus loves you. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And if you see us around town, don't be shy. We'll see y'all on the next one.